the blockchain doesn't hold the data. ODN holds the data.
This is about you. This is about me. This is about trust and transparency. Something about it brings clarity. I look into your eyes and I clearly see you need OriginTrail and the DKG. Hello, my OriginTrail pioneers. Today we're going to dive into the OriginTrail track tokenomics, or the token economy. We're not going to be diving much into the price action. For example, let's say OriginTrail will be worth $10,000 by 2023. But we will mostly be talking about the actual utilities of the token. What can you actually do? You know, for so long we've been talking about setting up these nodes in the OriginTrail network, but you don't actually know what you can do with these tokens, which is receive these data holding requests, aka jobs. But we'll dive into that pretty soon. Let's begin with the structure of the network, the different roles that there are, and what you do. Now, there are really three main roles in your OriginTrail network. This is the data flow of data in the OriginTrail network. Now you have a data provider. Data providers are entities that publish supply chain data to the network. A typical scenario would be a company that would like to publish and share its data from their ERP system about their products that are part of their supply chain. Data providers can also be consumers, which are interacting with the network through applications or devices such as sensors, which provide information about significant events in the supply chain. Next, we're going to be talking about the data creators. Whenever we talk about creating jobs on the network, we're talking about these data creator nodes publishing data holding jobs to the network, essentially creating jobs. This is an entity that represents a node which will be responsible for importing the data provided by the data provider, making sure that all the criteria of the data provider are met, such as availability of the data on the network for a desired amount of time. While we do expect that data providers will run their own data creator nodes, it is not a requirement. Third-party data creator nodes may provide the service for one or several data providers. Now, so let's pause right here, as this should be a big aha moment for you. When we spoke about gateway services or one single node acting as that data creator node, one prime example of this is the actual Swiss Federal Railways that we discussed in the case studies videos, where they have these one nodes acting as these gateway nodes to the OriginTrail decentralized network. Pretty cool, huh? So, aha, there you have it. I just wanted to lay that out there, as it's, you know, so damn cool. Now we're going to talk about the data viewer. This is an entity that requests the data from any network node able to provide that data. And of course, the smart contract is there to ensure that the data holders and the data creators get their fair share when the time is right. So this is all automated and governed by code. All right, so we've covered the roles. Now let's talk about the token. The OriginTrail token is essential to the OriginTrail decentralized network. The OriginTrail decentralized network cannot work without the OriginTrail token. You need it. There's no way around that. It is vital. So when we talk about leveraging the OriginTrail decentralized network, generally speaking, we're talking about these data sharing. Now, as a node runner, what you pretty much do is handle these data holding requests. We call it jobs. Whenever you're in the OriginTrail community and you hear someone saying, hey, my network node has a lot of jobs, we're talking about a lot of these data holding requests, a lot of these data storage requests. We're talking about jobs. So as a data creator, you're saying, hey, I need someone to hold this data for me real quick, and I'll give you this amount of tokens. Here you are. You don't have to trust me. I'm going to put it in a smart contract. So yeah, if you want to hold it for me, it's up there. And as a data holder, you're like, I like that. I'm going to take the rate of that. I like how much you're paying, but you know what? I'm going to put an equal stake into the smart contract so that you know that I'm not malicious, and you can trust that I'm going to be holding this data for you. At the end of the time period, the smart contract says, hey, you've done your job, and it releases your collateral and the collateral of the data creator and pays you, the data holder. So this is how the network fundamentally works. No work, no pay. No pay, no work. Honestly, it's kind of that simple. There is a little bit more perks. There are a little bit more fancy things you can do with a network, but really and truly,
That's the core of it. So let's dive into more of these fancy perks and more of these fancy things we can do with the OriginTrail decentralized network. There are a couple things here that we already spoke about. Of course, number one under the OriginTrail DKG providers, and we also spoke about number one under the knowledge suppliers, which is basically using Track to publish jobs. We just spoke about this. Now, the tokenomic upgrades as a result of building out this knowledge economy introduces knowledge consumers where 1, you can use Track to purchase knowledge tokens, and 2, use Track to publish open calls and tenders, as we spoke about in the incentivization video. And we do get some additional features under the knowledge suppliers category where we see 2, you can use Track to create knowledge tokens, and 3, you get compensated with Track when offering knowledge tokens on the knowledge marketplace. Knowledge suppliers is not the only place that got some additional features. We do see some additional features under the OriginTrail DKG providers where 2, you get compensated with Track to transform data into knowledge running these data pipeline programs. We spoke about this when the OriginTrail nodes have access to the wider internet, basically turning the OriginTrail decentralized network into an Oracle service as well, which can be used to embed data into smart contracts. Off-chain data, we're bringing it on-chain. This is a big feature. If you've been in the crypto space, there are projects whose entire scope is just doing this one thing here. We're able to do it in a verified and decentralized manner. This is astonishing. And when we look over to the right, these are all completely new. We have liquidity providers. They provide liquidity for the OriginTrail decentralized network nodes, and they split the rewards from jobs. We just spoke about staking your Track. This is a new feature with the OriginTrail decentralized network. Now, you will be able to provide liquidity for knowledge tokens and get compensated with fees. Basically, liquidity provisioning. You know, you see this taking place on platforms like Uniswap, where you launch your token, you want people to have access to your token, to buy your token, and you create liquidity pools. You're trying to create all these automated market makers and so on and so forth. So you will be able to do this within the OriginTrail ecosystem itself. Now we go on to the consensus providers where you get compensated with Track to provide blockchain services. Of course, you know what we're talking about here: Starfleet Chain, Polkadot, XDAI, you know, all of these consensus layer tools, you can use Track and get compensated for it. So guys, you should be understanding by now that the OriginTrail token is so vital, is so essential, is the core component of the OriginTrail economy and decentralized network. Now, I know that could have been a lot to digest, but really and truly, you guys have got it. You guys really understand everything there is to know about OriginTrail, or at least in the beginning. For now, you understand everything there is to know. Let's get your OriginTrail nodes up and running in our next video as we get into playing with the OriginTrail decentralized network. We're going to launch our first OriginTrail decentralized network nodes and really have fun in the ecosystem. Are you guys ready? I am so excited. Let's begin.
The blockchain doesn't hold the data. ODN holds the data.
This is about you. This is about me. This is about trust and transparency. Something about it brings clarity. I look into your eyes and I clearly see you need OriginTrail and the DKG.